What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about some breaking news about Modern Warfare 3, an early reveal for a lot of gameplay features, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and also as a reminder, we got plenty of brand new articles going up over on detonated.com, an expansion of all the coverage you're seeing here on the channel, just in the form of journalism. Once again, Detonated is a brand new outlet I founded to continue covering Call of Duty, just with articles on the website and tweets over on Detonated's Twitter. But first off, as of a couple of days ago, Activision did confirm that despite recent rumors about a weird price difference or a MW2 ownership discount, Modern Warfare 3 will indeed still cost $70 for the standard edition, at least, because it is a full premium Call of Duty launch, and there will of course be an edition like the Vault one, which will end up costing $99 depending on your region's currency. So the price of the new Call of Duty isn't going to change at all and will be exactly the same as what we saw for a game like Modern Warfare 2. But a new message of the day has popped up inside of Modern Warfare 2, and it features a QR code, right? Upon scanning that code, it'll have the same link that we got text to us a couple of days ago from the unknown caller, in which it'll then add an event to your phone's calendar about the Shadow Siege event taking place this upcoming Thursday. Now, something to point out though is that with the event being added to your calendar, it says the event takes place, at least from Eastern time zone, 1:30 p.m. to 2:55 a.m. the following day. So you're gonna have about 12 and a half hours to actually take part in this event, to actually hop into the playlist, to experience the event for yourself, to complete certain objectives, unlock different rewards such as the M13C assault rifle. So the playlist itself will likely only be inside of Warzone for, again, about 12 and a half hours, not even a full day. If I'm not mistaken, with the Cold War and Vanguard reveal events, I believe the playlist was live in Warzone for at least a couple of days and would be cycled in and out of rotation for the Warzone playlist every other hour or so. But it looks like this event for Shadow Siege is going to be a little bit different. So make sure you guys take advantage of Shadow Siege while it is available for a limited time this Thursday, the 17th. But a new teaser was also texted to everybody's phone numbers from the unknown caller, featuring a brand new look at the Zaya bunker door that is going to be very important in Shadow Siege. Apparently a special chemical weapon is behind that door, and it's unclear what exactly the chemical weapon is, why it's so heavily guarded, but it's a nice image of exactly what the door looks like. Or maybe once we go inside the big bunker door, what happens when we make our way all the way down the bunker itself will be another door leading to the weapon. Who knows how exactly that's going to work, if we need a code to open the door, or if it's just heavily guarded, we just go up to it and interact. We'll have to wait and see how exactly this bunker is going to work. But the text also sent with this image says, "Mark your enemies, be one step ahead." So we'll get to learn exactly what all these teasers have meant from the text messages once the event does begin in a couple of days from now. But something really interesting happened with this specific teaser. Some people out there did text a number asking about red dots on the minimap for Modern Warfare 3, and upon texting the specific words "red dot," all of a sudden you get a response with a red dot emoji and the word "confirmed." So it does look like this is our first actual confirmation of red dots returning on the minimap inside of MW3. And for those out there that are like, wait, DK, how exactly do we know this is what this means? I mean, look at the recent teaser we got where certain items were sent out to some bigger Warzone creators, like a pair of slides or shoes, a literal can, and a cell phone. We put two and two together and we're like, all right, maybe that means slide cancel, right? And I do think that's probably what that means. I think a lot of the gameplay mechanics and features that you were hoping to see in Modern Warfare 2, or the ones that got removed from Infinity Ward, are indeed going to return inside of Modern Warfare 3. So until further notice, we're all coming to the conclusion that yes, red dots will be on the minimap. We are going to be seeing a classic minimap inside of Sledgehammer's new Call of Duty 2023. But it gets crazier because all of a sudden a bunch of leaks started pouring out from the usual suspects over on Twitter. It's unclear if there was some type of early event that some people leaked to these Twitter individuals. It's unclear if there was data mining happening. It's unclear what happened here, but a ton, and I mean a ton, of details about Modern Warfare 3 also surfaced as of last night over on Twitter. The next big report is that every launch map apparently is a remastered one from MW2 2009. So the reason why this makes sense, at least to me, is that with this game releasing for the 20-year anniversary of Call of Duty, I understand that every launch map is apparently a remastered one from the original MW2. If it wasn't for that fact, yeah, I think it would be World War III on Twitter. I think it would be very controversial. But with the fact the game is celebrating 20 years of the franchise, I think this is the only COD game where that makes sense, to have every launch map be a remastered one, right? Essentially, MW2 remastered multiplayer being the launch content for MW3. I know that might sound weird or confusing, but it's probably the closest we're ever going to get to a faithful 2009 remaster. So there we have it. And to build on that, apparently the leaked image of Scrapyard from MW3, which surfaced a couple of months ago, it was noted that there aren't weren't any doors on that map. So although we had Scrapyard in Modern Warfare 19 multiplayer and they added doors and safe spaces, apparently the version of Scrapyard in this new game is going to be a very faithful version without the inclusion of those differences that Infinity Ward actually incorporated a couple of years ago. Now on top of that, apparently the Stalker perk is set to return inside of MW3, as well as tech sprint recharges while normal sprinting. The health is also set to 150, which does confirm a higher TTK for MW3 as opposed to Modern Warfare 2's 100 health, which I think TTK could use some improvement inside of MW2. It's not perfect, but still feels like a solid multiplayer in comparison to Vanguard. Maybe the weapon balancing was the problem in Vanguard, where it just felt like every single gunfight was some type of hardcore experience, where it's based on reaction time, not gun skill, as if every gunfight was just a one-tap type of kill. That was just frustrating to see, but it looks like Modern Warfare 3 has a significantly higher TTK, and I mean significant by, yeah, that 50-point increase is going to make a difference, right? Might feel more along the lines of what we saw in Call of Duty Ghost, especially with solid weapon balancing. It's going to be a great year in terms of gun skill and having a decent skill gap in the game's multiplayer. Now, one of the last things that leaked out last night, which wasn't a part of the initial batch of information from these people, is that map voting is apparently returning. Now, I'm really excited about that because I'm a huge fan of map voting. I think it's one of my favorite things to remember growing up about COD multiplayer, is just getting into that right lobby with a good group of people that aren't too sweaty and then seeing some really good map choices in the map voting section. And then if you didn't have good maps there to vote for, you'd vote for Classified to hopefully, you know, roll the dice and get another good map that's in the game. I absolutely love that feature, but the question is, if map voting does return, how does that affect lobbies disbanding? Does it mean that if you guys vote on a certain map, let's say, you know, you have Rust and you have Terminal in your map voting section, Rust ends up winning, do you keep the lobby that you're with as you voted, or does it still have a lobby disbanding SBMM type feature where, yeah, that map won the vote, but everybody in that lobby gets thrown into different lobbies out there, different servers featuring that map? That's probably too complicated, so I'm assuming that if map voting does return, it'll limit the way lobby disbanding works, or it'll disband the lobby before throwing you into a server where you're able to vote. It's very unclear how this would work with the new era and ecosystem of COD multiplayer, but figured I'd point that out. Now, with all those details in mind for Modern Warfare 3, again, I'm not sure how people on Twitter got access to this information. It's unclear where this came from or if it's even still true. I mean, it's looking like people out there saw gameplay for MW3 and have shared the information with these people. So this could be quote-unquote sources, their dads, their cousins that work at the studios. Who knows what exactly happened here? But with all this in mind, I just still find it surprising that essentially the main selling point of Modern Warfare 3 is that it isn't Modern Warfare 2. And that's coming from somebody who actually enjoys Modern Warfare 2. I personally really like MW2 multiplayer, despite the interesting changes that were made with this game, with the mini-map, with that silence, with whatever, the movement. Despite all that, I looked past it and said, alright, I'm still going to enjoy the game for what it is. I'm not saying I don't want these changes in MW3. I'm totally cool and pretty happy with them reverting on a lot of the odd gameplay changes that were made in Modern Warfare 2, but I still find it crazy that the main selling point and the main gist of Modern Warfare 3 is that it just isn't MW2. That still blows my mind, especially considering that the game is called Modern Warfare 3. It's a sequel to two of Infinity Ward's recent Call of Duty titles. I'm surprised that Infinity Ward didn't take charge and say, hey, you guys have to follow what we just did with Modern Warfare 2 if you're going to use the game's name, Modern Warfare. I mean, that's an Activision decision, not Infinity Ward, but I'm really surprised stuff like that didn't happen. But I think overall, with this game celebrating 20 years of Call of Duty, it makes sense that they're going to want to go ahead and bring us a very classic arcadey type of COD multiplayer, one that we all know and love, one that we're all familiar with. So it makes sense this game's going to go back to the roots of MP without having some very different gameplay choices that we've never seen in the series before. So I get that, and I'm totally down for it, right? I'm not at all complaining about these changes if they are in fact true. I just find it crazy that they're going to be doing that with the game this fall and not in Black Ops 2024 instead, which would also make sense. But if you guys are circling back to the idea about every launch map being a remastered one, I'm gonna hope that with every season we end up getting for MW3, yeah, you're probably going to see a remaster thrown in there, whether it's at the beginning or during the mid-season update. And yeah, that could be a remaster from MW3 2011, or like we talked about in my previous video, a possible Black Ops map. That would be nuts to see. Still hoping to see a healthy amount of original maps, though, during the seasons, which could be pulled from either the game's campaign or ones that are built from the ground up completely, ones that we haven't seen. But you also have to remember, right, I know this is going to be crazy to some people in the comments, but got to point out this fact here. A majority majority of the people that will be playing MW3 2023 are people that did not play the original MW2 2009 or even MW3 2011. Therefore, all the remasters inside of MW3, whether people like it or not, are going to be quote-unquote new maps to a majority of the people that pick up the new COD and play MP full-time. That's just going to be the case, right? Hardcores, content creators, OGs, obviously, yeah, we played all the original COD maps, but it'll still be refreshing to see a lot of those maps inside of MW3, since most of them were never remastered a single time. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comments section. What are your thoughts on the major updates here in regards to COD 2023? What are your thoughts on an early reveal for a lot of major gameplay features, plus everything else we discussed? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.